G'day there, welcome back to the Raeside. My name is Hannah and I am such a big Clone Wars fan. Even though this show aired over 15 years ago, it is still so relevant to today's storytelling in Star Wars. So today I want to break down what I think are the strongest and most impactful episodes from Season 1. The first episode of the season, Ambush, is like a little taste of everything you can expect for the rest of the series. You've got Yoda showing off his skills as a peacemaker and as a fighter, the clones proving that they're more than just identical copies, and the Separatists being sneaky and greedy as always. It's the perfect episode to watch if you're just starting out and want to get a sense of what the Clone Wars is all about. Plus, it's got all the classic action that you expect from this show later on. To me, one of the biggest notions throughout the series is this idea of the clones being individuals, and this episode so perfectly explores that. The scene where Yoda is in the cave with the three troopers is so important, and it really sets up the tone of the relationship between the Jedi and the clones, and the relationship between the clones and themselves for the rest of the series. Going on with the idea that the clones is one of the most important part of the story of the Clone Wars is the episode Rookies. In Rookies, this is a group of clones that face a separatist attack on the Rishi Moon outpost. This episode marked a turning point in characterizing the clones as distinct individuals for me, and I think for a lot of other people. Captain Rex emerged as one of the most fan-favorite characters to come out of the series, and this was the first time we really got to see him in action. This episode also introduced the Domino Squad, which was Heavy, Echo, Fives, Cut Up, and Droid Bait. Now, the emotional dynamics between these clones were somehow perfectly explored in just 22 minutes. To me, this episode really shone a light on the fragility of the clones' lives as we witnessed the sacrifice/death of Heavy, Cut Up, and Droid Bait, 3 of the 5 that we just got to meet. I really loved also just the involvement of Captain Rex and Commander Cody in this episode. They were fairly main characters throughout the whole season, especially Rex, so this really set up those characters as well as Echo and Fives that went on for seasons to come too. My next in the list for the best, most important episodes of Season 1 of the Clone Wars is Defenders of Peace. This is the second episode in a 2-part arc, with the first episode being Jedi Crash, which is quite a popular episode. But Defenders of the Peace is probably one of the most thought-provoking episodes of Season 1. This episode really challenges notions of heroism and warfare at this time. But things get a little complicated when they find out the Separatists are trying to test a new weapon on the Loman village. To me, it raises the important question of the morality of violence at this time and what really is the cost of war. That question is really challenged through the whole series, and I'm sure with seasons to come of these videos, we're going to find that question of what is the cost of war showing up time and time again. Overall, Defenders of the Peace is a really cool action piece, but it has those deeper questions challenging the meaning of war and what it's worth. The next episode is Trespass. This is an important episode as it tackles the theme of cultural conflict and diplomacy in a way that's both nuanced and entertaining. This episode follows Anakin and Obi-Wan as they are sent to investigate the disappearance of the Republic outpost on a snowy planet of Auto Plutonia, which we gotta say, that's a pretty great Star Wars planet name, Auto Plutonia. However, they quickly discover that the planet is inhabited by a species known as the Tulls. Again, this is an episode asking us a question. What is the role of outsiders in resolving conflict between two parties? And what is the importance of respecting the customs and traditions of other cultures? That's 2 questions, but we're doubly important then. This episode shows the violent and non-violent methods of confrontation and what those consequences can be. Like what I said with the start of this episode, it is entertaining. The main Pantoran character, Chairman Chi Cho, is so unhinged. He's off the charts in this episode. It is a great watch. I really do love this episode. The last one of my list here is Hostage Crisis, which is the last episode of Season 1. This is also the first time we meet notorious bounty hunter Cad Bane as he leads his group of ragtag bounty hunters to go rescue Zero the Hutt from Coruscant. This episode felt so strongly Star Wars to me. I'm not sure if it was just because it was set on Coruscant, or we were in the Senate building, or that we were just seeing Anakin and Padme. High stakes, notable characters, cool villains. That just really is Star Wars in a nutshell. Overall, this episode is just a really, really fun watch, and I think it's just such a fantastic way to end season 1 of Clone Wars. I will also mention that I think season 1 is the best season for standalone episodes for the Clone Wars. Once we get into seasons 2, 3, and 4, we get these kind of episode arcs that are really fantastic, but they are like 3 to 4 episodes long, where season 1 really is powerful for those one and done standalone episodes. Special mention to the Gungan General. We've also got the Hidden Enemy, the Blue Shadow Virus. Those are really fantastic single episodes that, it's insane to think that these are only just 22 minutes long, but they really tell so much of a rich story that, starts and ends with that one episode. Often with the first season of a series, it can be a little weak, but I really don't feel this all that much with Clone Wars. I definitely think season 1, maybe on a production level, it starts off a little basic, and that definitely improves and advances with the seasons going forward. But in terms of the storytelling, it is just as rich and important as really season 7, as revered as it is. And I love, even with the light, adventure, fun stories that we get with the Clone Wars, a lot of these characters and storylines and plot points are really important to the Clone Wars and really affect things in the movies as well. It is an important season. I wouldn't skip over this. I wouldn't skip ever any of the seasons of the Clone Wars. They all really mean something to the galaxy. Make sure you comment down below to let me know if any of the episodes I mentioned today were your favorite Clone Wars episodes. Subscribe if you want more Star Wars community and entertainment. My name is Hannah, and always choose the Raeside.